Hello, this is Gerald van Waas. In these videos and in this new series, I provide you some opportunity to get used to recognize letters in the environment and recognize the words, or just recognize the words in objects in the environment. Where are these vowels? Where are these consonants? Can we recognize them beforehand when we also when we know these words where they are applied? Can we see how they are combined together and form exactly what they are meant to express? And I always say yes. But it's not always that easy. I mean, you have to reason a little bit with how the applications work to pinpoint you to a certain direction and combine certain options. And you have to get used to the method a little bit, but these videos are meant to train a little bit to do that. And maybe you can also ask yourself, yeah, but isn't it, I don't see it immediately, so why is that? For instance, I take an example. You already had in one of the previous videos the letter M, where it is, where you can have it in the environment, where there are the options, let's say. Let's compare it with the Chinese ma and ma. Are they recognizable? Now, the Chinese is, of course, something special that the sounds themselves are not the only directions. You have to have the context together. And it's a language based upon a couple of contexts. One of the contexts is that you have a placement in the timings of how things are organized with each other in a balance, like in a yin and yang balance. And that's a whole concept is always dealt with unconsciously. Also, it's built up consciously at times, unconsciously at other times, by associations in other times. The sounds are one of the tools, but they are also working in the same way as they are used in, for instance, the Western language. They are used in exactly the same way. And I will provide you with this example to show you how or where. And I do this with this child is imagining field of the environment. You have a table, we have a tree here, and behind me is also a fence, which is at this point, no offense, no longer very necessary. I will do something else here in this landscape now. And we already had M. M is recognizable in the tree or on the table. Where is the M? It's, for instance, on all the surfaces or on all the whole object where it can extend. So when you would extend its whatever, well, you do that in a combination with other letters. When you extend its maximum form or whatever maximum it is, you have the M, and you can present it as such with the table plate here or with the tree form. It's maximizing its form. And there you had also these these words that I associated there. When it's already in the environment, you have this the environment itself is also a vowel, which is O, or a small environment is O, and therefore I could recognize very easily boom, which is tree, the B as the large pressing out of mass, let's say, in the environment, which described vaguely the tree, and the small o with the small extension is then the pom, or not the boom, but the pom or the apple in the tree. And that's already something you could recognize. But we're going to ma. But before we do that, because ma then on the table or on the tree wouldn't bring us much further to how it has been applied, so we will apply it in the context how it is being used. You can use also words not just on objects, but also on persons or on animals, let's say. And also in Chinese, you have these degrees. It's either at it or at male or female, or at in the way like it can also be the as the neutral animal. It can be as well there. And so there are foundations from which we can associate. And I have very simple childish kindergarten representation of an animal, and I have here also a person, and where we can also apply M on it, of course. And where will be the M? The M as ma, indeed, is that mass that comes out of it. It's enlarged and so on. So that is indeed in a similar way as on the table. It's going to the maximum of its form, of its presentation, of its expressions even. For the expressions of the man, of the ma, it can be also whatever that comes out, whatever expressions that come out, whatever that can grow out. It can be a lot of things from there, what can be brought out. But where is the ma used for? You have the two kinds of ma's. You have the ma, which is a representation actually of an animal. When it's applied to the animal itself is, for us as an association, a lesser part. So it is dependent on on what is important to us. Ma is the horse, and the is what brings you up, what makes it bigger with M. So what makes a person bigger, right? Or enlarged with it, or more important with it, or where you can have more expressions with it. In that way you have to see it. M is the extension from the part. With the R, there's a dependency on where you have the extension. It's not on the object itself, but it's how the object is used in the letter A. So it makes not just the person bigger, larger, it also enlarges the abilities, the work field, the way how it is connected, and that's also why it is expressed in this way. It is connected, but it gives you a kind of expansion possibilities in your work field, in what you can do with it. That's how you have to see it from the sounds. That's the intelligence behind the sounds, the sounds themselves. The M is about the expression of that kind of potential enlargement, which with the second letter R brings you to the object of focus, but this focus is dependent, so the focus is unlifted from there thanks to the A, so we are unlifted with it. That's the function of the horse. Ma, without the R, but just ma. It's of course a person. When we apply to a person directly, it's these extensions which the person itself can apply. What's the secondary association? Ma is the sound, and so it is expressed where should be applied, in which context should it applied. You can see it in the character. The character shows a female first, but a female expressed as ma, so expressed as how it is expressed itself as ma, as how it can extend itself from itself in itself. That's the female who can do that, who can extend its its whole being from itself and extend it outwardly. That's what it does with the M and the A together. But there's a female added to it, and the second symbol is again horse, but in this way it's not horse, because ma is horse. Ma is not horse. Ma is in sound the extension and so on. But to when you see this character of female with horse, you know, okay, it's as ma. Oh yeah, we know also a person who is the ma for us. So in this combination, we know the definition of this female is as ma, as mother, as the mother, of course. Ma is accidentally universal for mother in all the world. It's one of these only words which only or always will apply to mother. But when this dependency occurs, we go back to the sound expression. The sound expression says it lifts you to something and larger with a dependency, and I use it for the horse. Okay, it is a usage. It's just a concept that is used for something that is practical. To use it for that, there weren't too many options. You could use it for something, for a person, or for an animal as well. And with ma, you say, okay, this animal can help me to lift me as a man here in this case, as a person in this case, where a is just a person. It gives itself a person place. It gives it a stronger place, and it can place itself into the environment, into larger areas that it can reach, and so on and so on. This ma shows extensions. Thanks to this horse, we will have extensions in the world as well. That's what it can do. That's the way I have to think in sounds. Maybe some of you will find it far-fetched, but that's the way how sounds can be used and are used in this case. It was an option, it was a choice, it happened like that, and that's the result. There aren't too many options that you can do with ma. I could use ma for the table as well. I could use ma for the floor as well, but then it will mean something completely different, but that's not. I'm going to talk about other options right now. These are the options that are available, and they are understandable why they are available. And that was my point, that even in words that are a bit far-edged, in ma as a mother, they are described with a horse, which seems to be far-edged. It's also about the direction of what the sounds mean, and that's what I wanted to say. Before I end it might be very good to give you that example with ma. If I would apply ma directly, for instance, on the table, you already see the ma overlapping it a little bit, and what is very easy to associate from here, it's a word which only has one letter extra. It is a bit overlapping this area as a place and what word is that? Mat, of course. That's the mat which lies over it. So you can see, you can also use it for that. And this T is the simple association. It's about the placement, and this placement also has that enlargement, that it lies over something. It makes it in a way is a slightly the idea as if it is a bit enlarged as a space there, and nothing more than that. I hope that was clear enough. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this one. This was Gerald van Waas again. There's a website too, soundinformed.com, and there are some books too if you want to go deeper into possibilities, what you can do with sound meanings, with logic of within sound meanings, where sound meanings come from in several languages and scripts and so on, and where they could come from and so on. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.